YouTube, what is up? Coach Wiz, and we back with another reaction video. Today, we got Larry Bird destroys the ESPN media. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of them hating on Larry Bird, so here go another one. Here go another one. We're going to do some other players too, but here go another one. All right? To all of my reaction channel gang, you feel me? My old school NBA fans, do not be alarmed. I am kind of rebranding the channel a little bit. I'm going to get back into some basketball training. So that's going to be on a separate playlist. So, if those videos pop up, if you want to watch them, like them, whatever, cool. But I will have a separate playlist that's going to have all my old school NBA content. I still will be dropping those every day. So, you ain't got to leave, you ain't got to unsubscribe. I'm still focusing on that. Just a heads up to let y'all know. Let's get to the video.
Players I've come to despise over the years is the overall notion of players' total stats and longevity, in large part determine how great they actually were. And the main group pushing this agenda is LeBron James fans and people like Nick Wright. And these
Facts.
guys are obsessed with longevity numbers and total stats. And what these guys truly believe is someone's career totals. That, in essence, makes them the greatest player of all time and greater than someone who definitively had a higher peak. And I think the latest proof of longevity stats being flawed is the fact DeMar DeRozan soon is going to pass Larry Bird in all-time points. Now look, DeMar in his prime even now is a great player, all-star caliber.
True.
But if you think DeMar DeRozan actually was a better scorer than Larry Bird, you're sorely mistaken. And according to LeBron James,
Yo, real quick, are there actually people out there that think DeMar DeRozan was a better scorer or even player than Larry Bird? Are there really people out there like that? I hope not.
Fans, using their logic, DeMar actually was the better scorer. As in a couple of games, he's going to pass Larry Bird in total points on 500 less shots. Again, using total stats longevity numbers, DeMar DeRozan is the better overall scorer. But rational NBA fans, smart NBA fans know those stats are highly misleading. And understand how good a player was, how
Ugh.
great a player was, if you see their prime and their peak, as those numbers are what actually matters. As looking
Not
at peak
close.
Bird, from 85 to 88, Larry averaged 28.1 points, 9.7 boards, 6.8 assists on 52, 41, and 90 splits.
Oh,
Compared to peak DeMar, Larry outclasses him in every single category. And even as a scorer, Larry Bird, he peaked higher and was a better overall scorer. As an 88, he averaged 29.9 points,
oh,
87, 28.1,
mm.
85, 28.7, compared to DeMar DeRozan, who not once in his career cracked 28 points per game. And what you'll hear from this crowd who promotes total stats is that, well, DeMar
Mm.
scored more points taking less shots. If that's your go to argument, you miss the entire point of evaluating a player's peak and their prime and how good they were at their best. And my overall problem with the LeBron James crowd, the Nick Wright crowd, who loves these total stats, they don't apply it to every player or equally across the board.
Nah, they don't. They don't for sure. I think it's a totality of everything, and I think you at your peak matters. That's like huge for me personally. So like when I'm judging guys, I'm looking at okay, you at your best versus them at their best, skill for skill, who's better. Championships and all this stuff matters, obviously, but I more so look at just where you better. That's how I kind of look at it. That's just me. But yeah, this argument is I don't even understand why we're even talking about it.
Primarily, it's only for LeBron versus Jordan. And why they do this is if you compare total stats across the board for every player, it becomes quite ridiculous and their
Mm.
logic is exposed pretty easily. As looking at total stat numbers, John Stockton actually was a better overall point guard than Magic. Of course, not true. Look at someone like Dwayne Wade. His total stats are better than Larry Legend. Is Wade a great player? Of course he was. But he's not Larry Bird. And worst of all, Karl Malone, his longevity and total stats are better than Jordan.
Worst of all.
Look, while longevity is great and highly impressive,
Oh,
total stats really should only be used for milestones and NBA records. As in comparing players, looking at who was the best, total stats really don't even paint half the picture. My overall point is pretty simple. The misleading nature of total stats and longevity is pretty rampant in the NBA community. And looking back at Larry Bird, as someone who watches basketball every single night, watches multiple games, seeing some of the guys in this league putting up absurd stats, it really makes you wonder how some fans like
oh,
Bird couldn't play in today's NBA. I mean, look at today's Boston team. Fans clown Jalen Brown up and down for having no left hand. But already this year, he's on pace once again to average 25 plus points. And last year, averaged 27 and made second team All NBA.
one, stop hating on my guy. A lot of these fans be just talking, man. These are NBA players. These are pros. These are pros. If I can go to my right, somebody can't stop me from going right. I'm going right every time. Doesn't mean I don't have a left. That means you can't stop me from going right, so I'm gonna go right. It really doesn't make any sense.
If Jalen's doing that with no left hand, apparently being a garbage player, what
Oh,
would Larry Bird do in this era? And back in 2017, one thing that really stuck with me was the debate between LeBron James and Draymond. And both these players agreed there are players in the NBA today who do not know how to play basketball. I'll repeat that. LeBron James and Draymond said there are players in the league who, quote, don't know how to play basketball. Those guys just being raw athletes, they can jump, run, or simply tall. While the overall talent of basketball has gotten better progressively,
hold on, man. Hold on, man. I'm just being fair. So are we like, are we taking those? Are we taking their word? Are we gonna take their word on them saying that though? I'm just, hey, I'm just asking. Because any other time you're like, hey, I'm just asking.
I would argue the IQ and fundamentals have suffered drastically.
I
And
agree.
guys who come in from Europe with the fundamental skills a great base, nowadays they're dominating the American
Oh,
players who are more so athletes. That's why someone like Jokic can average 28, 14, and 6 and not have a 10-inch vertical. Or Luka Doncic, who's slightly more athletic, can drop 40 at the drop of a hat. Because those guys are fundamentally sound and not just pure athletes who dominate in that way. And
true.
look, I kind of am generalizing right here, as there are a lot of American born players who have great fundamental skills and were
Mm,
taught how to play basketball. And most of those guys who are highly skilled, even the 30 plus guys, still dominate in today's NBA. Because in my view, a lot of younger players
oh,
rather jump high, be fast, than actually fundamentally sound. And one last thing I do want to kind of rant about is the overall crowd in the NBA says championships don't matter and they're purely a team accomplishment. Now, just like total stats, that logic never goes the full distance. As basketball, of course, is a team sport, and every stat and accolade is
oh,
affected by your teammates. If you
true.
take that logic two steps further, realistically, things like assist totals, being the assist leader, actually shouldn't really matter because assists are dependent on your teammates. The same thing goes with scoring, breaking all time scoring record. Really, it's a team accomplishment, but in a basketball court, it's not 1v5. And your teammates most nights can impact the spacing, how tough the defense plays, and how much you get double teamed on the court. Of course, I'm being sarcastic and hyperbolic, but I hope the overall point kind of gets through. When you say things like championships don't matter, you got to go the distance with that argument and think it through. Same with total stats and longevity. You can't apply it to just one player versus another. If you're going to use that logic, apply it to everyone. But why they don't do that
Right.
is if they do, their logic falls apart seamlessly. And again, for these fans like a Nick Wright, there's no argument off limits, no narrative too absurd not to push their agenda. And seeing someone like DeRozan pass Bird in points again exposes how longevity stats are highly flawed and misleading. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
Shout out to Uncut Hoops, man. Uncut, you gotta stop letting these people bother you, baby. I know they get on your nerves. I know they do. They get on my nerves too. I get it. I get it. But come on, man. I don't think any smart person, they ain't got to be smart. Any regular person does not believe that Rosen is a better scorer than Larry Bird. Like, unless you just are oblivious, you don't know who Larry Bird is. I don't know. But you made some great points as always, my boy. Man, y'all go subscribe to Uncut Hoops, man. He got some dope content over there. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching. Let me know what y'all want to see next. Y'all want to see highlights. Y'all want more NBA stories. Drop down some players that you would like me to do some videos on. That's what y'all can do. Drop some players y'all want me to do videos on. Let me know if you want a shirt or a hoodie. I got that in my community tab if y'all want to see what they look like. All right, hey, that's it, man. I'm Coach Wiz. Peace.